Double Standards by the Nohashtagpoet. If you ask me about the disparity of the colored man in America, I'll shrug my shoulders. How would I know? Ask me about the plight of the lesbian, the bi, the gay, the trans, the queer, I'll shrug my shoulders. How would I know? Ask me about the pain of a family seeking a better life in another country, I'll shrug my shoulders. How would I know? If you ask me about the way I can ask for help and be turned away for the color of my skin over some apparent privilege I've not been lucky enough to know, then I can tell you all about what's white in front of my eyes. I can tell you how my kids do without because, let's face it, we're white and can have anything we want. We own the world, apparently. On complexion alone, I can be approved for a loan. I've never seen that before, and that's why we have no home. My privilege extends only as far as the dollar spends. And let me tell you, I haven't seen an abundance of dollars in as long as I can remember. I could tell you about pinto beans, cornbread, and some fried potatoes, a splash of hot sauce, a homemade biscuit, and a pot full of mustard greens, sitting at a dinner table in a collapsing home I can't afford to fix. But I couldn't tell you about filet mignon, chablis, and the proverbial mansion on a hill. I can tell you what it's like to be profiled for being a certain color in the vicinity of a predominantly else-colored area. I can tell you what it's like to have your head make contact forcibly with the cold steel of the upper part of the backmost door of a police car with a conveniently late watch your head attached like the new silver bracelets attached to my wrists. I can tell you what it's like to get thrown in a cell without being booked and have a group of baton-bearing bastards beat the living shit out of you and then get kicked out through the bay doors with the county transfers. Go ahead, you're free, now walk on home, boy. I can tell you what it's like to be met with, you deserved it, and I guess you shouldn't have broken the law. I can tell you what it's like to never be mentioned in some nationwide movement against police brutality. I can tell you what it's like to be told I can't even take part in such things due to a pigmentation error. I can tell you what it's like to be marginalized or judged for the color of my skin. What I can't tell you is what it's like for anyone to care. For a group to protest in the street for the injustices to which I've been, for a lack of a better word, a victim. I don't see myself as a victim. I see the error in my ways and that the fruits born come from with the territory in which you stand. I know the sting of personal accountability. I know what it feels like to have to lick my wounds alone for the same pigmentation errors that prevent me from victimization by a system that supposedly leaves me immune by privilege alone. I can tell you about sexism and double standards. I can tell you about sexuality-based phobias and double standards. I can tell you about racism and double standards. Sadly, I can't tell you what it's like for anyone to care. The sad fact of the matter is, I'm the wrong gender to complain, the wrong sexuality for anyone to care, and the wrong color to be considered a victim of racism. America, the land of soul-crushing hypocrisy.